Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Christ. We on Wednesday today? I
Wednesday,
can't keep my
baby.
day together. So, thanks for hanging out with us. We've been doing this every Wednesday. We're going to do it all the way up to the summit. We're going to be talking to past guests, past sponsors, and people that are just cool people that we've hung out with Babs over the years. So, Chad, welcome for hanging out with me. Tell the world a little bit about you guys, what you do, and what your favorite hobby of mine is. The drinking, not the barbecue.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Chad King, Ioka Systems. We are custom software developers. We specialize in helping companies get the technology they need to run their business the way it should run. And we focus on two things. One is we want it to be a good tool and a good experience for the employees to actually help them do their job, not be a beating, right? Not make things harder. And for the business, that means that they're going to make more money, right? Like most companies hate their software. The employees hate using it. And that means it's not efficient and the company's not making as much money as they could or should. And so we look at both of those angles. We want to make it a good experience, an actual tool for the employees, which means the company, the business makes more money.
Love it, love it, love it. Dude, you and I go back, I don't know how many years, but it's a long
A
damn
lot.
time. And I'll still attribute you and Icknot to be the guys that got me talking about being a Marine in public again, because I
Love
didn't do
that.
that for a year because of a moment I had with the vice president of a very large executive company. But um, you're huge into barbecue, huge into bourbon and rum now. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's not spiced rum, so you haven't got to the good stuff yet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, I'll bring you along someday.
I doubt it. I doubt it. So take me back to the first year of you coming to Babs. You didn't actually want to come to the event, weren't sure why you should be there. Walk me through kind of that moment.
100% true. I told you no for a couple of years,
Yep.
right? And look, one year it was I literally just legitimate conflict. I think I was moving my daughter to college or something, right?
Family first. We know that.
Yeah, but then I started talking to a couple of people. That's like, no, it's legit. And so yeah, so finally, and I guess we did sponsor that first year too, right? The first year I attended, we also sponsored.
Yep.
Which big believer. But yeah, no, man, it was I had to be drug along a little bit. What is it? Familiarity breeds contempt, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I knew you well enough. How good could it be? But I was wrong. It's
That's
really
awesome.
good.
That's awesome. What changed after you were in the room? Because I even remember, because every year we do go around the room and we do lessons learned, takeaways, and things like that. And I'll never forget you basically saying something around the lines of, "I wasn't sure if this was the right place, and after 3 days, I knew this is exactly where I should be." Right? Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that first year. Although the first year, Brandon Smith had the standout moment. I don't know if you remember him saying, "I've been selling myself to kids for years." So that was my huge standout moment from the whole thing. But yeah, no, I do remember that. And yeah, I mean, it was, it's 3 days away from your business, right? And I get that. I want to fully acknowledge that. It's a big ask, right? That's a heavy lift. And look, to be fair, every year I've had to sneak away for something. That first year, I was literally working a deal as I walked into the venue. I was late on day one because I was working on something, right? So full disclosure, I've never actually totally stepped away from it for 3 days, but you do largely. And so I want to acknowledge that's a heavy lift, but here's why it's worth it for me is I got in there and I realized that the in-person was worth it. The time I guess the realization came for me that it was an investment, not an expense, right? Like, yes, I'm taking that time away from the business. There are other things and opportunity costs. There were plenty of other things that I wasn't doing, but what I was pouring into myself, what I was taking away from it benefits me all the other days going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. It's really hard to explain to somebody the experience you get when you attend Babs like this. I struggle articulating, why people should come to it. Like, try and take a stab in your words why somebody should be in that room.
I find myself sometimes coming on down to with the right person, like almost like, dude, just trust me, right? Because I can't articulate it very well, but I can tell you a couple of things. I mean, part of it, like, man, if you're in SCN and you're going to meet people in person that you've only met virtually.
Yep.
Right. And it's another, man, dude, that's why I run the in-person happy hours, right? Virtual's awesome. We do it really well. It's very efficient, but there's no substitute for hugs and handshakes.
Yep.
There's just not.
Agreed.
And so you meet these people in person. That's a cool element of it. But what really makes it the difference, I think, for me is you spend time with these people in a meaningful way. You're going to meet new people. You're going to build relationships quickly. And I think part of the big value for me is some of the exercises that you do in the room. You really get to see how somebody thinks, right?
Yeah.
You get to almost see somebody in action in a really compressed format. And so you can learn a lot about somebody. You can get comfortable with them. You can see how they think, how they operate, and you can build a deep relationship very quickly in that setting.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things is what comes from the mastermind, like group setting conversations, when people could say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, get advice around the table, and vice versa. You know, you don't often get a place where you can actually work on your business in a safe environment where people aren't going to freaking break it over the head. You know, I love watching people shift and change, and the number of people that have told me, you know, like, day one, they're not sure if their business is ready to be there or should they be in the room, to day three, like, holy shit, there was no way I'd miss this, is just awesome.
Like, look, man, I'll tell you, you're not going to go. I promise you're not going to leave there wondering like why you went. You're not going to be looking for a thing of value. I promise you the struggle is going to be picking the 2 or 3 things that you need to focus on instead of trying to do everything that you picked up. I promise you're going to get the hard part is picking the value that you need to lean into, not finding value.
Yep. Has there been like a specific conversation or relationship you've made because of Babs that's carried way on beyond Babs or led to a relationship, a client, anything along those lines?
You know, Rafael Pino is in our chapter, right? He's our fractional CFO. We were starting to connect and work together a little bit. And honestly, it was nothing to do with business, but we connected on a personal level last year at Babs.
Yeah.
That did take that relationship to another level. Anyway, but yeah. And so we have since we're referring clients now, and we've got a kind of a partnership. So
that's awesome.
But there's been plenty. I hate that it's not right of me to single out just one, but fair. The one that immediately popped to mind.
Right. Is there something we do at Babs that you don't traditionally see at other events like this?
You know, the thing that sticks out to me, well, it's very interactive, right? Incredibly interactive. But the thing that's really cool is I love when we get a nonprofit involved
every year,
just literally pass the hat, right? But also virtually pass the hat, and the impact we make in half an hour. We're just raising thousands of dollars for a worthy nonprofit. That is so cool to me to watch that happen.
I agreed. I love every minute. And, you know, we're a stage where, you know, you get the chance to be yourself. And so, you know, I love when the nonprofits get up there and they start talking and you can hear the raw emotion coming out of them.
Absolutely.
You know, it is, we've started that 3 years ago with Baseball Face was the first one. You know, and then we did Stevie's Theater, the second one. Then we did Rex's, you know, Angels of America's Fallen last year, which was awesome.
And Baseball Face, dude, we did that. I don't remember if it was before or after Babs, but we raised $500 on the spot at our happy hour for Baseball Face.
That's awesome. And dude, that's what started it all. Was gosh, who's the baseball player in Baseball Face? What's his name? Do you remember? Sam. Yep. So Sam Torres Sr., you know, he was attending the event and he was doing one of the roundtable exercises. And I forget who stood up, but somebody stood up and said, hey, Sam runs this nonprofit and he's struggling to make awareness and money. And I went, cool, Sam, get your ass on the stage. Yeah. And that was the first time we ever did it where
it wasn't planned. It was completely organic.
It was totally spontaneous.
Oh, yeah.
And we've embraced it every year since, which it's just a cool thing to do.
So yeah, that's pretty unique. I don't see a lot of events doing things to put money in somebody else's pocket.
Right. I'm looking forward to sharing a video with some of the speakers that we did, I think last week, and hearing about an event that Catherine went to, and how it was just a money grab. I mean, you could tell it was all, they were there to pitch the room, and how bad that setup was. Talk to me a little bit about the after-hour activities at Babs. Why should people stick around, get the hotel room, and actually stay the full time?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, certainly following the happy hour. If you're planning on drinking with me, you're going to want to stay there. I'll tell you that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
No, I mean, like, and look, this isn't unique to Babs, right? A lot of conferences are like this. That's the real connection happens. Although it happens in the room so much more with Babs than with others, but a lot of times the bar afterward is the only place the connection happens, right?
Right.
You know, that's the real value for most conferences, conventions, is who are you drinking with after. You get plenty of value during the day, but that personal connection really happens at night.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And in my opinion, and experience.
Right. My favorite night's still karaoke, because you get to see a completely different version of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, watching Rafa cut loose that night and sing in Portuguese, right?
Right. Nobody had a clue what the hell he was saying, but he was getting after it.
It was amazing to watch. But yeah, and then obviously, you know, a group sing along to David Allan Coe. How can you?
Right. And then personally, selfishly, you know, Elizabeth comes out, but my favorite thing of the night is when we end up with "We Are the Champions," which I just love every year. It's a cool tradition.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What would you tell somebody who's sitting on the fence? They're like you were 3 years ago. Should I come to this thing, you know, and the whole 9 yards? What would you tell them?
What I tell our chapter every week is, like, if you're on the, like, if you're committed, not going, cool, I'm not going to change your mind. But if you're on the fence, just fucking go. Just do it.
Yep.
Just do it. Like, I promise you're not going to regret it.
Yep. I like this question. Why did you guys decide that Ioka, your brand, needs to be attached to the summit?
As we saw the growth in SCN, and I don't just mean in volume, right? But SCN over the last few years has leveled up, right?
Completely.
And please don't take that the wrong way, but it's operating at the network is at another level now. And year one, it was good. It was good for us, right? But as we saw more of the people that fit us being in the network and being able to just expose our brand to that, and be a part of, even adjacent to, something that's providing that much value, just makes sense for us, right? Being the happy hour sponsor is on brand for us. Like, virtually every gathering we do is, you know, we don't do lunch and learns, we do whiskey tastings, right?
Of course.
So, and usually there's some learning and networking that goes along with that. So that's a natural extension of our brand. But what Babs is doing, what SCN has become and is becoming, is a fit for us and something that I'm comfortable putting our name on.
Love it. Any other things people who are thinking about Babs, people who are coming to Babs, should think about before we wrap this thing up for today?
You know, as I said, I have yet to be fully present for the whole 3 days, right? But I do block it off, right? And so I'll tell you, shit pops up. But I would encourage anybody, don't plan to participate halfway, right? Block the time. Try to come and be all in. That said, look, you know, last year there was a part that I couldn't be there for because I had a family obligation. So, you know, part of the code is family first. And that's one of the things I love is we live that, right? That's not talk. That's not words. That's real. And everyone is encouraged to live that. And so I got nothing but understanding. But plan to be all in. And then make the exception and deal with what you have to. But I would say don't like plan to be there halfway, plan to be there one day, because you don't know where that magic moment is going to come, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to get a ton of value, but if you're not there for as much as possible, you're going to miss something you didn't see coming.
Absolutely. Guys, the summit's coming up. We're less than 60 days away from the summit. Tickets go up August 1st. The summit is September 16th through the 18th here in Dallas, Texas. Make sure you guys get your tickets in and come hang out with us. Chad, how do people reach out and get in touch with you?
Man, the best way to find me is probably LinkedIn, right? I'm very active on there. I'm active on Messenger. Obviously, you can also go to iokasystems.com or rentmysoftware.com. You'll see a little bit about how we do what we do. But I'm really findable on LinkedIn. That's a pretty easy way.
That's awesome. As always, brother, I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's always a pleasure. Freaking keep on rocking.
Let's go.
Get us out of here, brother.